the Eastern Caribbean, VON Radio, from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
Good evening, I am Jarvis Barney with your VON Major News Package for today, Tuesday, 27th August 2019. In our lead stories nationally, U.S. Naval ship Comfort to conduct health mission in St. Kitts and Nevis and be prepared for any potential storm, the advice from Senior Meteorological Officer in St. Kitts. Regionally, maternity leave moved to 16 weeks, 7-day paternity leave introduced in St. Martin. Internationally, Brazil to reject G7 offer of $22 million aid, and in sports, Elaine Thompson and Stephanie Ann McPherson win at Paris Diamond League. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this short break.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, VON.
Medical Treatment Facility will be conducting a health mission in the Federation from October 5th, 2019 to October 10th, 2019. It will be done under the auspices of the United States Embassy in Barbados as part of the U.S. Southern Command's Enduring Promise initiative. The U.S. Navy ship Comfort is expected to berth our dock on October 3rd, 2019 and is scheduled to depart our shores on October 12th, 2019. This is a humanitarian mission with two components, a land-based medical mission and a ship-based surgical mission. The medical mission includes the provision of health care at the two following land-based medical sites, namely the Antioch Baptist Church grounds in Limekeel, beside the NEMA headquarters, and St. Paul's Community Center, both of which are in St. Kitts. Therefore, persons from St. Kitts and Nevis are invited to access care at these medical sites from October 5th, 2019 to October 10th, 2019 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. The surgical mission involves the provision of surgical interventions and care on board the hospital ship to persons diagnosed with a surgical problem. Such an individual would have been referred to the hospital ship by his or her attending local physician. Officials from the St. Kitts Met Office are encouraging the public to be prepared for any potential storm during this hurricane season. The fourth named storm of the 2019 hurricane season, Tropical Storm Dorian, based on a 5 p.m. update today, was located at 15.3 degrees north, 62.5 degrees west, and was 330 miles southeast of Puerto Rico. The coordinates for St. Kitts and Nevis is 17.33 degrees north, 62.78 degrees west. Senior Meteorological Officer at the St. Kitts at the St. Kitts Met Office is Mr. Elmer Burke.
In the peak of the hurricane season, and as such, the level of activity in the Atlantic will be increasing, and it has already increased. We would want to remind persons to remain vigilant, remain prepared, and be ready to activate their disaster plan. If you haven't have a disaster plan organized, use this opportunity to get your disaster plan in place, because once we give the green light for actions to be taken, we would want you to take the necessary action.
Senior Meteorological Officer at the St. Kitts Met Office, Mr. Elmer Burke. Due to the impending passage of Tropical Storm Dorian, the Allure of the Seas cruise ship was unable to dock at Port Zante in St. Kitts. The government continues to work assiduously to improve the lives of the disabled in the Federation, so says Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Sean Richards. He made the announcement during the August 23rd to the 25th Disabled Peoples International North America and the Caribbean 10th Regional Assembly, which was held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. The conference had as its theme, Build and Strengthen the Functional Capacity of the Organization, and 14 overseas delegates from as far as Canada and the United States, as well as local delegates, attended. He spoke about the wheelchair-accessible bus that was donated by the St. Kitts and Nevis Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation SIDF in 2015, which can accommodate 18 persons on 4 wheelchairs. In light of the rehabilitation work of the island's main road in St. Kitts, consideration has been given to persons with disabilities. Thus, wheelchair-accessible sidewalks have been incorporated into the road upgrade plan, which is in furtherance of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal SDG 11. The goal aims to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. The minister was quoted as saying that the donation has paved the way for the successful dial-a-ride transportation service operated by the association, and it has also inspired the creation of similar services such as 869 Access Services. These services help to facilitate various business and personal errands for wheelchair-bound clients, as well as socialization among the elderly and disabled. In more national news,
St. Kitts Nevis is presently conducting country priority assessment, and as a part of this study, we are conducting the Survey of Living Condition Household Budgetary Survey. We've been in the field since last year collecting data from households for this survey, and we are into the final stages of our data collection. We are seeking the cooperation of households in responding to our enumerators as we collect information for this very important survey.
That was Director of the Department of Statistics in St. Kitts, Mr. Carlos Phipps, giving an update on the Enhanced Country Poverty Assessment Survey, which is being conducted on the island. Mr. Phipps also spoke of the reasons why the data collected from the surveys is necessary.
Such information is very important for policymakers to assess the quality of life of households and offer assistance to particular households and to particular communities we are deemed necessary based on the conditions that are reported through the means of this survey.
He also encouraged the public to cooperate with the enumerators when requested.
We do encourage the household population to provide us with the necessary support. We have been out there some time. We're now on the last leg of our data collection activity. So we'll be in the field until the end of September. And we're hoping to cover at least another 100 to 150 household interviews. So we're really seeking the cooperation of households, that we get that representative population, that we can make proper analysis and be able to inform policymakers and other stakeholders with good quality statistics.
Director of the Department of Statistics in St. Kitts, Mr. Carlos Phipps. On Nevis's end, the assessment surveys are completed. According to Nevis's Director of Statistics, Mrs. Doriel Truss Phillips. The Ministry of Education here on Nevis hosted its annual back-to-school opening ceremony on Monday, August 26th at 8:45 a.m. The ceremony was held 1 week before the official start of the 2019-2020 academic school year. Monday, September 2nd, 2019 is the date for the commencement of the academic year. The ceremony also featured teachers, principals, and other invited guests. A National Day of Prayer and Fasting will be held on Monday, September 2nd to encourage personal reflection and appreciation for God's blessings. It will be hosted by the Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs in collaboration with the church community across St. Kitts and Nevis. Hence, churches are encouraged to organize appropriate activities in the morning and midday to serve their congregation and members of the respective communities who wish to participate. In the evening, residents are invited to the Zion Moravian Church at Victoria Road, Basel, St. Kitts, for the National Prayer Gathering, which begins at 7 p.m. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs, Mr. Ron Dublin Collins, spoke of the initiative and said it is important because it is the entire nation that is called to prayer. This year will mark the second consecutive year of the commemoration. And lastly, in our national news segment, according to a release from the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, notice has been given of a sitting of the National Assembly on Tuesday, September 3rd. It will be held at the National Assembly Chambers at Government Headquarters in Basel, St. Kitts. It will commence at 10 a.m. The last sitting was held on July 30th, 2019. At that sitting, 9 bills were presented to the National Assembly. And that's it for our national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com, or you can check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here's another one for the steppers.
Swipe to win big in 2019. That's right, the Bank of Nevis Limited is once again giving you, our valued customers, a chance to win big. Just swipe or use your Bond Visa credit card for US $100 for a chance to win a cruise for two, an iPhone XS, or a grocery dash at Best Buy Supermarket.
Say what?
Sign up for a Bond Visa credit card and automatically be entered for a chance to win. This offer ends August 31st, 2019. So tell your friends and family to swipe to win big with the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram.
Welcome back on to the regional news. In St. Martin, mothers of newborn babies will receive maternity leave of 16 weeks and their partners will now receive paid paternity leave of 7 days once the changes to the Civil Code and other country regulations go into effect. According to the Daily Herald, members of Parliament MPs on Monday approved the changes during the continuation of a meeting that dates back several years. The amendments relate to the replacement of the 7th Title A of Book 7A with a new Title 10 of Book 7 regulating the requirements for employment. Amendments by United Democrats UD MPs Sarah Westcott Williams and Tamara Leonard were also given the green light at the end of the meeting. Highlights of the changes include shortening the period within which workers can become permanent and increasing the maternity leave from the current 12 weeks to 16 weeks. The original maternity leave proposal was 14 weeks in accordance with International Labour Organization standards, but Leonard submitted an amendment to increase it to 16 weeks. Leonard's original amendment was 18 weeks for mothers and 2 weeks for partners, but she said that this would have been too much of a burden for employers, and the new amendment was submitted recently. Regarding the 7-day paternity leave, she said employees who are related to the newborn by marriage, recognition of the unborn child, or recognition of the child are entitled to continued payment of wages for a period of 7 days around birth. According to AccuWeather.com, at 5 p.m. today, Tropical Storm Dorian was located at 15.30 degrees north, 62.50 degrees west, about 330 miles southeast of Ponce, Puerto Rico. The winds were 50 miles per hour. The gusts, however, were 65 miles per hour. It was moving west-northwest at 13 miles per hour, and its pressure was 1,005 millibars. Elsewhere, Tropical Depression 6 was southeast of Hatteras, North Carolina, and it will meander off the coast of North Carolina into Wednesday while over warm ocean water and within an area of strong wind shear. This wind shear should help to prevent significant strengthening, though we do expect Tropical Depression 6 to become Tropical Storm Erin through the middle of the week. Later on Wednesday into the end of the week, a trough of low pressure exiting the eastern United States will cause future Erin to accelerate to the north and east into the end of the week. During this time, Erin is likely to transition to a non-tropical storm and move into Atlantic Canada on Friday. Tropical development is not expected elsewhere across the basin for the next several days. In Haiti, Foreign Minister Edmond Bouchet said a memorandum of understanding is in the works with Russia to allow Haitian citizens to travel to the country and Russian citizens to travel to Haiti without a visa requirement, says Sentinel.ht. In recent years, protests in Haiti have included calls for Moscow to strengthen ties with Haiti. Minister Bouchet briefed the newspaper Le Noveliste on this project after headlines were made by the Petite Dessalines leader, Jean-Charles Moïse, who met with the Russian ambassador to Venezuela, Vladimir Fedorovich Zamsky, in Haiti. Former Senator Moïse made a 2-week visit to Caracas, Venezuela, where he met with many leftist parties from nations such as Cuba, Mexico, Spain, Germany, Venezuela, and Russia. Those visits, his subsequent visit by the Russian ambassador, and Mr. Moïse's criticisms that the Jovenel Moïse administration had turned its back on Venezuela and Russia, which was widely publicized, prompted 2 articles in Le Noveliste. Minister Bouchet, in his interview, said the Russian ambassador met with him as well. Diplomatic relations between Haiti and Russia have always been desired but much frowned upon by the United States and nations in the Organization of American States, OAS, with no other choice but to walk in lockstep with the U.S. agenda. Barbados is feeling the effects of Tropical Storm Dorian, the 4th named storm for the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season. As the country remains on shutdown, 2 other Caribbean governments have gone the same route of a national shutdown, St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A national shutdown was announced in St. Lucia, which is under a tropical storm warning, as well as a hurricane watch, as hurricane conditions could possibly affect the island as Dorian moves into the eastern Caribbean Sea. And that's it for our regional news segment. Stay with us for news around the world. Welcome back, and now on to the international news. The Brazilian government has said it will reject an offer of aid from G7 countries to help tackle fires in the Amazon rainforest. French President Emmanuel Macron, who hosted a G7 summit that ended on Monday, said $22 million would be released. However, Brazilian ministers say the money is not needed and accused foreign powers of wanting control of the Amazon. Commenting on the G7 offer of aid, Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro's chief of staff, Onyx Lorenzoni, told the Globo News website, "Thanks, but maybe those resources are more relevant to reforest Europe." Here is more in this BBC report.
President Jair Bolsonaro has been very clear in saying that, in his opinion, it's necessary to expand economic activities in the Amazon. He has always said that the Amazon is now open for business. He wants to attract foreign companies as well as national companies to operate in the Amazon. He even said that mining in indigenous land would be a possibility, and he has always been very skeptical of climate change.
Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has urged the United States to take the first step towards dialogue by lifting sanctions against Iran. Without this step, this lock will not be unlocked, Mr. Rouhani said. He spoke a day after President Donald Trump said he was open to a meeting if the circumstances were right. We have more in this BBC report.
There's been a downturn in relations between Washington and Tehran since the Trump administration withdrew last year from the Iran nuclear deal. Speaking on state television, President Rouhani said that if the US lifted its sanctions, bilateral relations might improve, and he sought again to reassure the US that Iran would never build a nuclear bomb. It had even issued a fatwa against doing so. Mr. Rouhani's relatively dovish approach isn't going down well with conservatives in Tehran. It's been criticized by a newspaper close to the Islamic Revolutionary Guards.
KFC is to trial meatless chicken nuggets made from plants as it tries to further take advantage of the growing popularity of meat substitutes. It has teamed up with vegan food maker Beyond Meat to offer meatless nuggets and wings for the limited US trial run. KFC is one of many fast food chains experimenting with plant-based food. Burger King announced a plant-based Whopper earlier this year, while Subway has also said it will test plant-based meatballs. According to a press release from KFC, the company's Beyond Fried Chicken will be offered at one restaurant in Atlanta on August 27th, which is today, and will still be finger-licking good as its slogan promises. The firm said it was the first U.S. fast food restaurant to introduce a plant-based chicken. It tested a vegan alternative to its chicken burger earlier this year in the UK. KFC said it would be looking at customer feedback to decide whether to roll the option out across the United States. And women in Bangladesh are no longer required to declare if they are virgins on marriage registration forms, the country's top court has ruled. The High Court ordered that virgin be replaced with unmarried. The other two options on the form, widow and divorced, remain unchanged. Women's rights groups, who had argued the word virgin was humiliating, welcomed Sunday's verdict. According to the BBC, the court said grooms now also must declare their marital status. Marriage laws in the Muslim-majority Bangladesh have been criticized by women's rights groups as restrictive and discriminatory. Many girls in the country are forced into arranged marriages at a very young age. The court said the Bengali word Kumari must be removed from marriage registration forms. The word is used to describe unmarried women, but it can also mean virgin. Lawyers for the groups who filed the case in 2014 had successfully argued that the marriage forms were humiliating and breached women's privacy. On Sunday, the court said the Bengali word Obihahitata, which ambiguously means an unmarried woman, must be used from now on instead of Kumari. That brings us to the end of our news segment. The latest in sports is next.
Get the hottest summer deal on your vehicle from TDC Automotive and pay no deposit. Finance your vehicle at the lowest interest rate ever with TDC Financial Services for as low as $775 per month. We're giving you 1 year free insurance with TDC Insurance Company on selected models. Free insurance? Now that's hot! Save even more with free servicing for up to 1 year. Free licensing, registration, accessories, and tinting. Save thousands and get lit with the hottest summer deal from TDC Automotive. We're #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back on All the Sports. In athletics, World and Olympic champion Elaine Thompson extended her winning streak in the 100 meters after winning the short sprint at the Paris Diamond League on Sunday and booked her place in the lucrative final set for later this month. Thompson and 400-meter runner Stephanie Ann McPherson were the only Jamaican winners on the schedule as the regular season of the Diamond League came to an end. 3 Jamaicans, including 800-meter runner Natoya Gould and sprint hurdler Ronald Levy, also booked their places in their respective event finals, which will be run in Zurich and Brussels to bring the Diamond League season to an end. Thompson cruised to an easy win on Sunday, winning in 10.8 seconds, and the 8 points saw her move to 22 points and in second place in the rankings behind Ivory Coast Marie-Josée Talou, who was second in 11.13 seconds and is on 31 points. Shelley Ann Fraser-Price, who did not run on Sunday, also qualified for the 100-meter final, finishing in 6th place on 16 points. In local cricket, here are the scores from the Auckland Marley Hector T10 tournament in St. Kitts. On Sunday, August 25th, the Young Guns team went up against the Molyneux team. The scores were Young Guns 74 for 3 in 10 overs, Molyneux 78 for 2 in 7.3 overs, Molyneux won by 8 wickets. Later that day, the Newtown Cricket Club went up against the Lions Cricket Club. The scores were Lions Cricket Club 83 for 2 in 10 overs, Newtown Cricket Club 84 for 2 in 8.4 overs. Newtown Cricket Club won by 8 wickets. In tennis, Serena Williams made the perfect return to the US Open after last year's controversial final by thrashing her longtime rival Maria Sharapova. Williams, 37, won 6-1, 6-1 in a first-round meeting which ended up lasting 59 minutes. 12 months ago, Williams called the umpire a cheat and liar during her loss to Naomi Osaka, but the mood was rather different as she beat the 32-year-old Russian for the 19th time in a row. 8th seed Williams, who is bidding for a record equaling 24th Grand Slam title and the first since returning from giving birth 2 years ago, broke Sharapova's serve 5 times as she eased into a second-round meeting with fellow American Catherine McNally. And lastly in our sports segment, still in tennis, world number 1 Novak Djokovic and Naomi Osaka will seek to defend their titles at the US Open that Britain's Andy Murray has chosen to miss. The Scot, who had hip surgery in January, had planned to play doubles but is focusing on singles elsewhere. In his absence, the country's number 1s Johanna Konta and Kyle Edmund will carry British hopes in New York. Roger Federer and Serena Williams will be again chasing records at the final Grand Slam tournament of the year. Swiss great Federer, 38, is seeking a record 6 men's US Open singles title that would also make him the oldest men's Grand Slam singles champion at the Open era. Meanwhile, 37-year-old American Williams, whose defeat by Osaka in last year's final was marred by her angry outburst at the umpire, is hoping to equal the all-time record of 24 Grand Slam singles titles. And that's it for sports. The weather is next. Welcome back. The weather tonight will continue to be cloudy to overcast with showers and thunderstorms. The weather tomorrow will be partly cloudy to cloudy with a 70% or a high chance of showers and a 20% chance of thunderstorms. The winds are southeast to south at 24 to 39 kilometers per hour with wind gusts up to 52 kilometers per hour in showers. The seas are 1.2 to 1.8 meters. The sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:56 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Tuesday, 27th August 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, U.S. naval ship Comfort to conduct health mission in St. Kitts and Nevis and be prepared for any potential storm, the advice from senior meteorological officer in St. Kitts. Regionally, maternity leave moved to 16 weeks, 7-day paternity leave introduced in St. Martin. Internationally, Brazil to reject G7 offer of $22 million aid, and in sports, Elaine Thompson and Stephanie Ann McPherson win at Paris Diamond League. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Jarvis Brown wishing you a pleasant evening.